evening. Busy weekend here in my basement. Did a set last night. It really feels like Sunday. The old friend Sunday is back. I did put pants with zipper on. Almost barely, though. So, hello. I hope you've all had a good week. It's crazy to start this and realize it's the fifth one, and that means we haven't really left the house in 5 weeks. It's crazy. So, I'm going to have Travis Book today from the infamous Stringdusters and Kellen from Fruition. I went back and listened to some older stuff from both bands this morning, and it was crazy just to think about how long I've known both of these guys and the memories we have out there having fun. You know, maybe if more of my friends like Travis and Kellen had spent time with me in my basement, it wouldn't feel so lonely down here. Like, it would feel more like we were at Telluride backstage. Like, if I lived at Telluride backstage, I wonder if I would have the same sensation that I was. Anyway, in 2011, we did some shows with the infamous Stringdusters in Boulder and Denver. And for one show, we both played some Police songs. We still play Driven to Tears sometimes, and they still play Walking on the Moon. Maybe they play Roxanne still. We'll have to ask Travis. But one of the other nights, we played one of each other's songs. And so Greensky played It'll Be Alright. It's a Travis Book song that I love. And I went ahead and relearned it like for 5 minutes before we did this. So we'll see if I got it or not. I love this song. Travis's songs are so positive and they make me feel good. I feel like I need that today. So I hope you enjoy this. You always thought you would fly, sail away and learn to ride. But you're waiting for a changing tide. Take a train, catch a flight, go ahead, it'll be alright. There's no one there you owe it to. You'll do what you want to do. Just stop the car and leave tonight. Go ahead, it'll be alright. Still be here, it'll be alright. Drive out past the city lights, watch the day turn into night. Feeling better by midnight. Winding road will make it right. Go ahead, it'll be alright. What is past is done. No use holding on. Don't look back. That old house is gone. Grounded, rested on. Turn out that light. Don't look back, it'll be alright. Take your chances when they come. Don't wait for something or someone. You hate to miss a chance at life. Go ahead, it'll be alright. Take a chance, it'll be alright. Take a chance, it'll be alright. Just be here, it'll be alright. Yeah, right on. It'll be all right. That feels nice to say out loud. Thanks, Travis. Man, that song's so in my wheelhouse. I feel like I've written that same chord progression thing all the time. It's so easy to relearn it. I just copied that song for all these years, I guess. You know, I had a hard time figuring out what else I would play if I played that because so many of my songs are so similar. Oh, there's the comments. They stopped for me, and I was afraid you guys weren't there. I'm waiting to see if Anders says hi if he's here, because if he's not, Travis and I are just going to have a field day with talking about Anders. A million comments I missed. All right, here we are, Sunday. Okay, I'm going to play one more and then we'll have Travis here. So that concept of rewriting the same song is something really interesting for me, or that I struggle with. I feel like I have a style and a voice, and I just really like to sing over these certain chord progressions, come up with new ideas, or the same ideas and new ways to say them. This next song I'm going to play, Beauty and Pain, I wrote when my mother-in-law died of melanoma, and it had been a fight for a while. As many of you probably know, that cancer's tough. And, you know, when she passed away, she didn't have cancer anymore, and there was something kind of beautiful about it, that she was free. So I was very sad and didn't know how to write, and I just kind of needed to, this song I needed to get out for myself. And, man, I'll be damned if it isn't the exact same song as my friend Josh Davis's, one of his songs. And chord progression, melody, whatever. And he stayed over at my house like shortly after I wrote it. And in the morning I was like, I got to play this song for you, man. Because I rewrote one of your songs. And I played it for him, and he kind of gave me permission. He told me that he loved my song and told me to play the hell out of it. And it was kind of a beautiful songwriting moment. I told you before that he was a hero of mine and a big influence. And so I'm sure we're all sort of guilty of that, but... So the opening of today's show is real uplifting here. The 2 lessons to be learned. It'll be all right. And there's beauty in pain. So suffer on, my friends. Please take the words to carry away. There are others in need of a song. We'll all bury our mothers before we would lie. There's time left to make right today. We are singing to comfort pain. We all want to feel high again. If my path is to worry, then I'll walk in shame. 'Cause I'd rather find beauty in pain. If we fail to accomplish the task we've begun, if the bridge should fall short of the song, and we measure the grace of the deeds that we've done to find peace with what's been pursued, we are singing to comfort pain. We all want to feel high again. If my path is to worry, then I walk in shame. 'Cause I'd rather find beauty in pain. Well, we'll always overdue, with little left to invest. And we're filled with the efforts that most times were empty, to find strength still somehow to go on. We are singing to comfort pain. We all want to feel high again. If my path is to worry, then I walk in shame, 'cause I'd rather find beauty in pain. If my path is to worry, then I walk in shame, 'cause I'd rather find beauty in pain. Hey, beauty in pain. Yeah, we don't play that one too often at the Greensky shows. It's a good companion for the mood sometimes. All right, let's get Travis Book in here and giggle and smile and stuff. Let's see where he's at. You ready, Trav? Everyone's crying, Travis. We need you to crack some jokes. What's up?
Hey, man.
How are you, buddy?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man.
Just trying not to cry.
Yeah, that's why we don't play that song at shows very often. It's not fun, sort of.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's a hard line to sing about burying the mother. I decided not to play it at my show last night since it was Juniper's birthday and my lover as mother's birthday. I was like, man, that's not tonight.
There's so many songs, right?
So many songs.
Not that one.
Hey, I had fun playing your song again, man. I love that song.
That sounded incredible.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I remembered it. I hardly even had to relearn it because I've loved it so long. It never left me.
That's a fun little tune.
Yeah.
You want to say hi?
Hey, Rye.
Right there.
There's a Durango reference in that song, right? Isn't there the house is a guy's house or something?
Totally. Yeah, that song was sort of written and inspired by one of my old housemates. And a bunch of us lived in this big, like the world's biggest double wide, down by the river, literally behind Walmart. And it was a colossal crash pad. There's a lot of like ski bumming, bartenders, a lot of raft guides, and the guy who basically took care of the whole house and made sure we were all good was Oaks. But ultimately, everybody moved out and moved on except for Oaks, and he was sort of stuck there. So I got the idea for that riff. Felt kind of old timey, like a little like Doc Watson-y, you know, and it's in that pattern of 7, almost like 7/4, where you drop a beat every time. And then I sang that song about my boy Oaks. So yes, Durango.
That's what you call that when you drop the last beat. See, because we do that all the time, but I had no idea that's what it was called.
Well, it's not actually like it's in 7/4
like
time signature.
Right, but it's
still
like
4/4, but like that's how I think about that. Is that, and I've used that in like 3 or 4 other songs.
You kind of jump the one instead of playing the resolution for the last measure. We do that all the time.
Drop that beat, and it just kind of keeps the melody rolling. You know?
Yeah, it's fun, man. I really enjoy playing it. I know all those chords, so it's a good song for me.
The more I write songs, the more I want to just write songs that have chords that you know, like kind of like our boy John Prine. Like, you knew all those chords.
Yeah, there's a simple turn that makes them all unique, or an idea or a melody.
That was always Burl's thing. Is like Burl's tunes are really straightforward, but he'd always say there's like one little trick. He had a word for it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but like whether it was like a 2-chord at one point or a 6 or a 3, some weird little thing. But otherwise, it was like relatively straight and sort of went the way that you would expect.
Yeah, there's no smoke and mirrors. It's just good songs.
Yeah, totally. It's hard
So,
to write that down.
did you always write songs on the guitar? Do you play guitar before bass? Is that the story?
No, I started playing electric bass and then started playing acoustic guitar right at the same time.
Okay.
And just learning basic chords, mostly so I could sing, because singing with bass is just not that fun. So
Yeah.
I started out playing guitar to sing, and now I'm really wanting to get a piano.
It's fun. We have a piano upstairs. I can't play it very well at all, but when Juniper was a baby, I'd just sit in it. It was great.
Well, you don't have to play piano well to be able to like write and come up with musical ideas on it, you know, because it's just because everything lays out different than on a guitar. I feel like anytime I sit at a piano, I have a chance at like breaking something new free.
Yeah, that sustain pedal too that both of us don't have with bass and mandolin. You can just like play one chord and sing.
Totally.
So you're always writing songs on the guitar. What are they like when you write them on guitar? Are they different than the way the band plays them, or when you write them on guitar, do they have 4 on the floor awesome vibe also? Or tell us a little bit how that's.
They're all different.
Yeah.
Right? It's like sort of like I was thinking about this earlier today. Like there's infinite pathways. They all lead to the same place. It's almost like music as like a parallel to like spirituality. It's like there's a million ways to get where you're going, right? But where you want to go is like a complete song that has a flow and that's meaningful and exists, right? So like, for example, on our last record, If You're Gonna Love Someone, that was just like straight away I knew that was just like 2-beat straight bluegrass, fast. And I just wrote it that way, and that's how it was from the beginning. But like Rise Sun came as just like an idea in my head that was almost like a gospel feel when I was driving into South Carolina. It had nothing to do with the guitar. That came to the band and ended up sounding pretty bluegrass, but I didn't even write that one initially on the guitar, you know?
You just had an idea and then kind of as a band came up with it?
Pretty much, yeah. I sort of lucked out and got this idea for this little melody, this simple melody, and I sang it into my phone while I was driving. And then when I came back and went to start writing, I grabbed that little vocal idea and started. I didn't even write with the guitar at first. I could just sort of hear it all in my head, which
just
really
sang the melody.
Yeah, just really.
Yeah, I find I come up with more interesting chord progressions if I allow myself to do that a little bit when I play. Because otherwise, as I said before you came on, I have like tricks in I have chord progression, you know, like gutter balls, like goes into the 1 4 5 6 4 gutter thing that I always do. And if I just sing and then try and figure out what chords accompany that,
right?
Because you're a great singer, so that your melodic ideas, you know, especially for bass, you're like, oh, one. Did you always sing? Did you sing before you played bass and stuff?
Hang on one second. Ruby, please. Please. Yes, I will later. Just please. I got both kids today. Ruby's begging me to take her to the farm. Can you take me after? Yes, but I'm literally on this thing right now. I'm working. I'll take you afterward.
Hi, Ruby.
Hey, Ru. You want to be on? Oh, now she's mad. Can you restate the question, please?
You know, I don't know what I was saying. I just you're such a you have such a great voice and you're such a good singer that
thanks, man.
It's, you know, I wondered how long you've been singing and if that makes.
Well, that's definitely like kind of for me the whole point of playing music is to be able to sing, you know?
Yeah, I thought maybe that was kind of the case.
Yeah, the singing is really what I like the best, you know, and singing lead is fine, but I love to sing with people too and sing harmony. And that's partly why I got into playing bass in the first place, was because bands needed bass players, you know, and I could understand the music that way. And it gave me an opportunity to sing, you know, and then writing really came from that too. Just a desire to have things to sing, you know, things to say.
Yeah.
Right? Like something to sing, because I just like wanted to get music out, you know. Otherwise I was just standing around, I was like walking around humming all day. I would hum all the time when I was a kid, you know.
Yeah, that's great. Do you want to play us a song?
Sure, man. Do you have any idea what you want to hear?
You can play us whatever you like, man.
I
already played one of my favorites you wrote. I was re-listening to some of the older stuff today, and it was really fun. I forgot about the song All the Same. I love that song.
Ooh, that one was fun, man. Falco and I wrote that in like 45 minutes or an hour one morning in Nashville. One of the only times he and I sat down to write. I showed up at his house. He was cooking cutlets and making soup, and before the cutlets were done, we'd written it.
Cool, man. The outro on it's so cool.
The outro and the recording is great. I think we were thinking it's sort of like Neil Young. Like I remember being like, let's make this kind of Youngian, you know? And he was playing like that riff. You know, we kind of had a feel already. And that's another tune that was like, yeah. That's a song about God. That's a song about spirituality, you know? That's fun. It's like, it's code, you know, but that's another one. It's like what I said earlier. It's like that song's about, like, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same thing, right? That's what all the same is. It's just like,
it's all the same. Just a bunch of
you're just talking about the same thing, right? Call my names. They're all the same kind of thing. I can play you a tune. Do you want me to sit back so that you can see me, so you can soak it all up?
Sure. It might work better with the mic too if you're a little farther away, but you just get comfortable, man. This is casual show. We got no scripts.
And Paul, I'm always comfortable in
your
presence, my man.
Oh man, I like that. This feels good today to be hanging with you.
You always make me comfortable. I need lyrics to this one. Hang on a second. If I can find lyrics to this. It's something that I'm working on, and so I figure since you're, man, sorry, see, I was keeping it real tight, and now I'm totally lost. I don't know if I've got the lyrics to this one. Okay, I gotta think of something else now. Let me just play a little snippet of this one, what I can remember.
Yeah, man.
How do you make a love stay? If you got love, can you give it away? How do you make a love go? If you think you're in love, tell me, how do you know? Still there in the morning, the evening glow is gone. But come on without warning, was it with you all along? How do you set love free? If you think you're in love, you can leave it to me. Tell me, how do you know it's true? If you think you're in love, tell me, what do you do? We'll be there in the morning, steady as a stone. But come on without warning, even when you're all alone. You wanna play along? All right, jump up here and play. How do you let love go? If you think you're in love, tell me, how do you know? How do you set love free? If you think you're in love, tell me, how do you know? If you think you're in love, tell me, how do you know? If you think you're in love. That's not it exactly, but that's right. Were you playing along, bud?
That's the first duo we've had on the show, so.
Nice.
Yes.
He's like waving the guitar neck.
I could see is it a little uke?
Yeah, he's got a little blue uke.
Cool. No. Juniper's got a little pink uke over here. She mostly just hits it.
That's a pretty much all right. Do you want to show?
Hi, Rye. What's up, buddy?
Thumbs up, man.
Nice. I like your guitar.
Yeah, that's Buddy.
That's a beautiful song, man.
Thanks. It's not like fully formed, and I haven't completely figured it out, and there's nothing really to it. But that's one like I was listening to. Who was I listening to? I was listening to someone on the scene, and I just got inspired. I was driving the kids. Again, that one just kind of like made itself up.
I like it, man. It's beautiful. You have a way with positivity in your songs that is really encouraging and fun.
Well, it's kind of the only it's the only thing I've got, because avoidance is my preferred coping strategy, and so I'm really uncomfortable with. Sorry, I'm getting right to the heart of the matter. I'm I'm uncomfortable with that stuff, and I think that it is extremely brave of songwriters like you who are able and willing to go there, because it's really hard for me in my conscious and subconscious and in my entire being to get down on that really gnarly stuff, just to be completely honest. So the sort of lighter and happier and that stuff that's just kind of like, that's in my wheelhouse, because I'm not brave enough to write the nasty stuff.
Well, I appreciate that sentiment of bravery. I feel that way sometimes, but I was thinking today when I was going to ask you about it, if you felt like when you write the songs that they have that positivity that you project in them, or if it's like something that you're like encouraging yourself with, like by writing a positive song, you encourage yourself, everything will be okay. It's
Yes.
not like, hey, I'm over here like on top of the world and everything's great, I'm so in love and everything will be all right. It's like when I sing In Control and I say I'm not out of control, it's really like me being like, you're not out of control,
Right.
you know, like
right. Oh yeah. I mean, the power of language and of manifestation and of direction of your energy is real. And so certainly things are not always all right for me, and I'm probably look much better on the outside than I do on the inside. But part of that is that I'm just trying to sort of take control of the narrative of my reality and try to remind myself that it will be all right. You know?
right. And
trying to remain hopeful.
And it works. It's your catharsis when you're on stage and you're singing those songs. You have to like project that feeling, and then you feel that way, right?
Yes, and that's a natural role for me to take. That's one that I've generally taken in my life. It's sort of like optimist and cheerleader most of the time, you know.
I agree. You've been there for me many times like that.
And I'll be here for you forever, baby.
It's so cool. Just like that voice and that feeling seems to like transcend through your whole band. And going through the catalog this morning to like pick your songs out, I listened to a lot of the other stuff, and there's just so much talented songwriting in your band. How does the dynamic of all of you as writers work, and has that changed over the years with living in different places? Or just talk about the band dynamic of writing. It's a broad question.
Yeah. Well, it's for us, it's like we really spread it out and sort of try to give everyone a voice, and you know, 4 guys want to sing and write and make statements, and we work some together, but for the most part we sort of work separately, either with other people or by ourselves, and then bring ideas in some various state of completion to sessions where we then sort of rehearse and approach this music together as an ensemble and see how it feels all together, you know. And it's generally a pretty natural process for us and unfolds pretty easily, although, you know, there's less and less tension and less ego as time goes on. And part of what we've done is also, you know, we share some degree of songwriting credits and some degree of publishing through our band, in part because we're all lead singers in the band, and it reduces sort of the competition that could be there, because we're 5 really strong personalities and all guys who probably have enough ego and chutzpah to like try to front if we weren't doing this thing to get together, we'd probably be like trying to do our own thing, right? So, and to some degree, all of us do. So, anything that we've been able to do to just sort of like reduce competition and increase the sort of collective, supportive vibe of the band. And one of those things is just trying to make sure we record a lot of songs on our records these days, you know, long records. I think our last record was like over 50 minutes, you know.
You have a lot of records too. I was going through it, and it's like 9 studio albums or something.
Because there's like 5 dudes trying to write and record music, right?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You can't get in there enough.
No, and and it's made us much better at the process too. You know, it's took us like 7 or 8 records to make a record that I really liked. So,
do you have you sidetracked my train of thought? But do you find that you like every record is just every newest record is your favorite? Like people are like, what's the best record you ever made? And I'm like, well, the newest one, duh.
I have, yeah, but I only really feel that way about like our last record, you know?
Yeah. Just like the last record. I like the comment you made about ego. I feel like you said some of the same things that I say about our band a lot. You know, like when we were younger and you bring your song to the band, it's like your baby. And you have to present your idea with merit, and then you come in with your chest puffed up a little bit, and you're like, this is why it's going to be cool. This is why it's awesome.
Yep.
This is how creative I am. Now play it. And then in our later records, I'll bring something, and it's just like, what about if we just like you throw on that pedal that makes your dobro sound like this, woo, and then I go, ah. And then that's the only part of the idea, you know. It's just like totally ego free and just like let the thing become itself.
Yeah. Well, and you spend enough time together, it becomes real quick. You start playing a tune. For us, like basically all the songs I put on this last record, I just like played them I basically was like, this will go on the record, and I played them, and they were all like, yep, because I knew what they liked, and I knew kind of what we were going for, and I also knew that it was like the best I could do at the time. Right?
Yeah.
Like I had one song that I kind of liked, but I knew it wasn't going to get on the record, and so I went home before our last session together and wrote one, because otherwise I was going to get stuck without a song on the record, you know. And then I showed up and I said, "This is going on," and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's it," you know. It was like If You're Gonna Love Someone. I just showed up. I had the arrangement. I told them how it was all going to go. Basically had a chart for them. I mean, we could have like recorded it that day almost. I told them what was up. You know,
yeah,
it's not always like that, but the longer we're together, the more it can be that way.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes that pressure is a weird little thing too, when you're almost at a deadline, and then you have to like force your process. That's something else. One of the reasons I really wanted to start doing this and talking to other songwriters is just to like, how do you reconcile that difference between your creative muse and the pressure to produce? And right now, while we're all stuck at home, I find it to be very intense because I'm like here every day and I'm like, it's time to write. But I'm like, man, I just want to order pizza or something.
Yeah, the energy is bizarre right now. And so for some people, they're feeling sort of inspired and called to work really hard. And some of us are a little bit more like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't have any idea. Like for the first time that I can even really think of, it's like global uncertainty, you know? And I don't have a problem with that. I live in a world full of uncertainty and I love it. But for a lot of people, it's really upsetting. And I find it very interesting, but it is hard for me to sort of like get on track, like doing something or creating something when I don't even really, you know, when I don't have really a sense of what is kind of next or how this will all shake out, you know? Mm-hmm. So a lot of it for me is kind of wait and see. And I've got some projects going. Some of them are music related. Some of them aren't, you know, and trying to keep myself busy, but it's an interesting time to be inspired and to try to know what and how to write for me.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Would you like to play us another song?
Yeah, let me play one more song. Let me play a song. You know, there's this funny thing that happens when you're writing and you feel like your idea is like too obvious or too silly. You know this phenomenon?
Yes.
Which is only like one small step away from like perfect and right. and knowing the difference, right? So this is a song that I kind of made up, and I had some dummy lyrics, and I thought it was kind of dumb, but I played it anyway and made it up anyway, and I still played it some in the shows, and it didn't really make any sense. The chorus doesn't make any sense. It doesn't say anything. But now that we can't go anywhere, it's taken on a new meaning.
Ooh, I love this.
So this song is called Places I've Been. I see the world from behind the wheel. Storms in the valleys, frost on the field. Mountains at sunset and the cities at dawn. Radio's playing when I sing along. High places I've been. I've been places I've been. I'm bound to travel, you know the deal. Life I've been leading doesn't seem real. Yeah, but I'll always ramble back on you. I can't imagine what else I wouldn't do. High places I've been. I've been places I've been. And if the road runs out, well, runs dry, the wheels won't turn, we'll learn to fly. I crossed the desert of the great western plain, sleep in the shadows of a tall mountain range. Yeah, but I won't be hanging around here too long. The road is calling, singing its song. High places I've been. I've been places I've been. High places I've been. I've been places I've been. You guys remember when we used to go places?
Places, man. Everybody said they missed places. I love that, man. I do that same thing sometimes with place-holding lyrics, too. Do It Alone was that way. I thought that chorus was sort of ridiculous, and then I was like, I'll write something later, and just never did.
Yeah, I remember you saying that on the Panda podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know exactly how that goes.
Right? And then
Paul Simon says Graceland was dummy lyrics. But he never got away from it.
Because they sounded good together, and that just kind of, I was thinking of the song Here, There, and Everywhere. When you're singing all the places, like that's not like some special statement, but man, what a great song. Hey, both the kids. Hey, guys.
Yeah, we're all in the scene. I'll take you as soon as this is over.
Hey,
he's gonna kick me off soon anyway.
Hey, I'll let you go, but before we leave, since we were talking about places, I want to show Katie Wayne something. Remember that, Kwanye? Can you see it? I can't see.
Yeah, we can see it.
It's like a paint mural that's still there that we kind of worked on together.
Nice.
Remember this place?
Remember these places.
All right, bro. Thanks for joining us, man. It's nice to hang with you. Thanks for sharing songs.
Stop, please. Thank you so much, brother. Good luck, all you parents out there.
Yeah.
Quarantine 2020. Love you, Phoff.
Love you, buddy. Bye, Rye. I think you have to. I think you have to quit yourself.
Oh yeah. See you guys.
See ya. Yeah. All right, places, everybody. Places. Yeah, Katie, you can kind of see it in the shot back there. It's my big art piece behind that Sperry that everyone always comments on. Okay, part 2, we're going to have Kellen from Fruition. And I'm going to take a quick break and we'll start a new video. So join us again in a moment. Un momento.